Uppy, uppy, uppy. It's one funny morning. I'm Dana Blizzard, and it's too early in the morning. This is the dumbest show in the whole world.
From Monday
to Friday. Sometimes on Saturdays.
Why would you say that in front of all these people?
Dean stinks.
You never know what's gonna happen.
That's your Dateline voice?
I don't know.
It wasn't good.
It wasn't.
It's not a chicken leg. This is a chicken leg.
Look at that manhole cover on my face.
Not a bad rendition of me. Hold on.
We know your brother. We'll give you a ride to school or whatever.
That's called
our small
murder
town.
in New Jersey.
He was a lot
Like
with his everything.
Oh.
What's outside your Puerta de Clima?
That's Stellan! Yeah!
There was a lady. Her name was Dina, and she brought together a very lovely bunch. And that's how we became the Wisconsin bunch.
Take it away, Dina! Oh, that was so adorable. Good morning. Good morning. Yes, Kelly, we're here this morning. We're live. We are back at the house. It's a morning show from the fireplace. I'm here today. Today is the day that we move the piano. Look at her. This is all still very weird for me. This whole process, but all of my part-time renters are finished, and my full-time renter starts in like 2 weeks maybe. So I have 2 weeks to get the rest of my things that I'll be taking for the 6 months with me. So, and this is the cleanest my house has ever been. There's never, well, that's still on the floor. I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do with that. I don't know that I'm doing anything. I suppose I should do something with that. Yeah, LaFive, I guess we should take the sign too. I guess they don't want it. I'm gonna leave it up there probably until the last minute as I walk out the door. But yeah, I decided, Sherry, to do Curly Girl Winter. I've never done curly hair in the winter time. It's very different. It's not as big, but you know, it's doing its thing. Curly Girl Winter. So yeah, it's all a little bit weird and surreal. And is that what it is? Curly Top? Curly Top's like exciting time. This is what we're doing. So yeah, it's a little weird, but all good. You know, I've been just trying to take in all the changes and all of the things. Do you use the diffuser in your hair to get more curls? Yes. The curls change with the seasons. Dana knows. The humidity plays a big role in it. So like this is like people say, oh my gosh, your hair is so curly. Why don't, like in the summer, people are like, oh my gosh, it's so curly. Why don't you wear it curly all the time? I'm like, it's only like this in the summer because the humidity just like if it was summer, I wouldn't be able to put my hands through my hair. Like this is what it was like in high school, where like my sisters have curls all the time. So mine's not like that. In high school, it was like I have a curl that goes that way and then one that does that. So I've been able to at least get it to go in some direction that makes sense. But yeah, I love my curls in the winter. I hate them in the summer. Isn't that funny, Gav? I kind of like it in the summer because it's literally, it's almost like my sister's. It's almost like the corkscrews in the summer, but I can't even get my hands through it. It's just, so, it's very funny. So it's doing its thing. Michelle, no, I didn't sell my home. I have decided to lean into my assets, which the only ones I have are houses, and that might cost more than I have. And so I decided that maybe it was time to rent this house as well. And I met a really lovely woman and family. And they were looking for a place to stay for 6 months. And so I was like, you know what? Why relax in your life when you can explode it every once in a while? So, so I kind of did a soft move. And I guess the middle of during when I had COVID, I wanted to do it at like a good time. So I moved during COVID and thought I was dying, and locked up most of my stuff in the basement. And so now all my part-time renters are gone. And do you think you will do more houses in the future? I don't know, Tanya. It's very weird. It's very weird. I think that there's been a lot of changes in my life since divorcing and, figuring out what life looks like on my own. I've never done that. I got married at 26 and just moved from my parents' house right to my married home. And so, trying to figure out how to create a new life for myself, which I've been doing for the last 2 to 3 years, but on a comedian's budget, which is, if you didn't know, not that big of a budget. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to freak out. I'm just going to try to be smart. And I started to learn a lot more about Airbnb with the Shore House. And I just started hearing more and more people talking about Airbnb being their primary homes. Some people will do it when they go on vacation. And a friend of mine does it. She has a place up like in the Catskills. And she lives there year round. But in the summer, she knows that she can rent it for lots of money. So that's how I kind of learned how to like lock my closets up, put things in the basement. So she kind of taught me some of that. And so that was my plan, was to just run it part-time. But then this 6-month opportunity just kind of popped up. So I know, Martha, it definitely, I am very attached to this house. I wasn't during the divorce. I really wanted to leave. But then God said, you need money for that. So I didn't. But I decided to really just kind of lean into, you got these lemons. How can you make the best of it? And so I decided to really turn my home into something that just felt like the new me and all the things I love. So Jeremy made this mantle for me, and with the help of lots of people, I was able to turn this house into a place that I love. And so yeah, have most of your renters respected your thing? Yeah, coolly. I have found, so our both of the houses that I rent are pet friendly. And I have found that when people are able to rent places and bring their pets with them, they are so thankful that they are able to bring their pets with them, that they are so like uber on top of, like, I never find dog hair. I mean, I have cleaners that come in after each one and really clean the house because there are animals here. But I've actually found the houses have been, left in great shape. Yeah, Diane said, I'm attached to my beach house. I get so nervous when new renters come in. It's hard and emotional, but I need the money. I'm like, girl, you're not wrong. And it's funny to me. Like, I mean, this has become kind of my other part-time job between these two houses. And I've gotten better at flipping the houses and, buying things that are just for the renters, and I have my own things. I hope you added a gorgeous mantle fee to the lease contract. Obviously, Jeremy, I'm gonna be like, it's an upgrade. I'll be like, do you want the gorgeous mantle option? Because it's an upgrade. If not, I'm just going to put like a janky piece of wood up. And they've all chosen gorgeous mantles, obviously. So, mhm. The BMC went to settlement on her house, and she's got 2 weeks to get out. So both of these houses on our street, I do, Sadie. Yes, I decided to rent this house for 6 months. These were just short-term rentals, but I'd met a lovely woman in town that wanted to do the 6 months, and I really wasn't on board, but she's so nice, and so it's kind of been lovely meeting people. There's lots of people that came up for the holidays to be with family. I've had one renter who she had a kitchen fire, and she needed to move out for a month. And so, yeah, BNC is moving. She sold her house. It's a lot, you guys. It's just so much. And then Colby, and then COVID, and then Christmas, and then so, yeah, Jessica. So I'm going to be taking lots of pictures of the house, just to kind of showcase the projects that I did here. And I actually have pictures of the house that I had in Runnymede. Andrea, good time. Andrea just wrote, I am sad. I don't know why you're sad. We're going to be at your house now all the time. I was thinking today, I was like, you know what? I'm going to bring my dogs to Andrea's. We can go visit. They can run in the yard. And just like, I'm not that sad. Not that sad. So yeah, I think the thing that I have been learning is that, while I am somewhat humorous, is that I have, I think as a comic or as a person, I think all of us, when our backs are up against the wall in any kind of way, that you just got to figure out how to make things work. And I don't know who needs to hear this message right now. But women are survivors, and some of you fellas as well. But I can only speak to the female experience. And for all of those reasons that I might have stayed in not great situations for as long as I did, it just got to the point where I was like, I want something better for myself, and I need to believe that I can create it and sustain it. And no, Jen, I'm not selling. I'm just talking. They're coming today for the piano. Yeah, you have to put your big girl panties on and move forward. Diane and I are living parallel lives. And Joey, I saw your post, and I'm so excited for you, and you're going to do great. Yep, I'm going to show you the finished bathroom. So I, as I kind of look back, I started to just kind of see, I spent a big part of my life raising my kids and doing stand-up. We've only, throughout the course of the last 20 years, we've only been able to ever buy like crappy houses and had to learn how to fix them up. And so I have, had to kind of learn it and learn how to work with general contractors, or I became a general contractor. I'm a GC, ladies. Yeah, you got to put your Soma panties on. Are you going to sing the Billy Joel song as they come and get the piano? Let's hope so. Where are you putting the piano? So Beth, the piano will be in the music studio at Jason's. Missy and I were in there the other day, and Jeremy was in the back hitting the drum like 6 times. And there's a piano. There's a spot there. So it's just waiting to be moved in there. So it's a lot. It's but I'm learning the things that I might be good at, and things that have helped me to survive. And I don't really know what I'm doing, but I'm just doing it. Like, if you wait until you know what you're doing, you're never going to do it. Don't wait until you know, because guess what? The people that are doing it, they don't know. They don't know what they're doing either. So that's a secret. All right. So Don't look at other people and be like, well, they know and I don't know, so I can't move forward. Be like, no, they don't know. On New Year's Eve, yes, that was Jason's piano. Yeah, Patty. Yeah, thanks, Sandra. He is a great guy. So fake it till you make it. So that's what we do, and we faking. And sometimes it goes well, and sometimes we cry. But guess what? Then we figure it out, and that's where we are. So everything is figure outable. I know, Sarah. I'm excited. Jason was so funny because we actually were talking about where to put the piano in his house. And, obviously this piano has always been in like my living area, right? So like I can just like walk by and be like, and just play. But the music studio is like around the corner. Like there's like a sunroom you have to kind of walk through. So you have to be like, I am going to go play a piano. Like you have to be like, So he was like, well, obviously we're going to put it in the studio. And I was like, and you could just see it in his face. He was like, it's a music studio. And, he's got his little like upright piano. And I was like, you have your upright. He was like, Dina, you're obviously going to put it in there. It's just weird. I don't know. I'm used to having my piano like 2 steps from everything. Well, it fit through the old doorways. Well, you're going to see. I actually sat here today because when they come, I'm hoping that they come while we're still live. The window was like 9 to 11, but she made it seem like we were the first ones. It is so quick when they pack this up. And it is, so this is Piano Movers. It's the same Piano Movers I had. They moved this from the town. I bought it into Runnymede to Runnymede because I went from my house to my mom's house and then from there to here. So it's the same Piano Movers. And is Jason a musician by occupation, Claire? No, he is not. He is like just loves music. And the funny thing is I've never like dated a musician. Like in high school, I dated the guy that played the trumpet. But I don't know if that counts, Claire. And I don't know that I'd call him like a musician. Jason plays by ear. Is it very expensive to move the piano? It's a few $100s, and a lot of it depends on how far they're taking it. So like from my house in Runnymede to my mom's house in Runnymede, it was like $120. I could have rolled it. If I could flip, because all the legs come off, this pedal thing comes off, and they actually flip it on its side and roll it that way. They don't roll it like down there. I mean, if I could have, I would have rolled it to my mom's. But they actually, it's kind of amazing. But because it's a piano mover, like this is all they do every day. And they are a very tight ship. And they move like, I don't know how many pianos a day, 20 a day. And it's all over New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware. It's a big company. So they're great. So I really like them. I trust them. No, it's not thousands. No. And a lot of it depends on, are there a lot of steps? Like some people are going, like my sister has her piano on her 3rd floor. So they actually had to hike it up on the outside of her house and then bring it through a door. So like a patio door, that I'm sure cost a lot more than mine. I have no steps. So, is Di okay that you're a little far away? Linda, listen, I don't know that Diana knows that I'm even moved. I don't know that you've met her boyfriend, Joe. But what Dina does now seems inconsequential unless she has a doctor's appointment, and then I become consequential, and then she uses her crooked finger to try to give me directions. But yeah, no, whatever. I didn't realize that many households had pianos. Yeah. Tina, there's a lot. I know you don't think about it, but I think that there's like 2 companies on the East Coast, and yeah. Is this the last time you've been in the house? No, Jen, my official move out, I guess is January 14. Yeah, Our Lady has a busy life. Is that what you call it, Kezia? She busy. When we moved 26 years ago, I used a piano for my huge upright. Yeah. Are you close to Michelle? No one's close to Michelle or Nicole. No, they're still 2 hours, 5 hours. So, but you would have thought that I moved to Europe, both in my opinion and Diana's. So my friend Sarah is in Pennsylvania. It's only about a half hour, Bethany, for me. From here to Jason's about a half hour. From my mom's, I say it's a half hour. She says it's 50 minutes, Dina. It's not. It does definitely depend on like the hour and traffic and stuff like that. Oh, Crystal, that's exciting. I would like to rehome my piano. Nobody wants them. Lisa, where do you live? Maybe somebody on here would love a piano. Noella just said, Di has been a good example of how to do change too. Yeah. And I think, what's funny is I think that, when you see, I guess, where I am right now, waiting for this piano to be moved and all of these things, and it looks brave, exciting, and it is, but I cry a lot. I'm sure Diana does too. Like anybody going through any kind of change, there's a lot of crying involved, and I don't think I think I'm pretty good with change, but sometimes just too much at the same time is a lot. And if we could all just let the Lord decide, listen, God, I'll take this change, but if you could hold off on these other changes, that would be great. It doesn't work like that. It's like rains and pours, So I would love a piano. Patiently waiting for my mom's. I'm going to give my piano away in Pottstown, PA. Says, oh, there's a couple. Dayton, Ohio, there's a free piano. Pottstown, PA, there's a free piano. Ooh, who wants a piano? Who wants a piano? Is piano still going in the music? Yes, the piano is going in the music room. But yeah, it is a good cry. No, it's not Joe the plumber. No, still just renting Marge. So much has changed. I started crying yesterday for no reason in front of my daughter, and she went running and said no. And then I started crying too. Dang hormones. Charlotte, North Carolina, free piano. Listen, you stay around here. Everybody going to get a piano. Tammy said, I miss having a piano. If you're in any of these towns, there's one in Pennsylvania, one in North Carolina, and then there was another one somewhere. Anyone near Reno or Vegas with a piano? My mom wants one. I didn't sell my house, Kelly. I'm renting it. Kenosha, Wisconsin, free piano. You get a piano. You get a piano. Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know if you know this, just a little thing. If you move a piano, you cannot have it tuned right away. You have to let it sit for like 3 to 6 months to just let it acclimate to the room. And that will probably take it through maybe 2 seasons. So it can get hot, it can get cold. Like you've got to let the wood sit. And you don't really want it up against an outside wall. Like these are frankly both outside walls. But like if you have an upright piano, like mine's not on the wall and it's close to this fireplace. But if you have an upright piano, which I'd imagine most people have, more people have that, you wouldn't want to put it up against an outside wall. Try to put it up against an interior wall. Yeah, I have a piano window, but no piano. Listen, you stick around, you're going to find one. My daughter's getting in, and we just have to move it now. I have one. Anyone want it? Was that Jim in Pennsylvania? Yeah. You will enjoy the new scenery, Nancy. That's what I'm learning. I'm beyond crying, I think. I don't know. Maybe it will hit me at some point, but now I'm uber cynical and feeling hopeless, said Bougie. Listen, that's a stage for sure. Sherry, there's the angry stage, and what am I going to do now stage, and what am I supposed to be doing with my life, and everybody's better than me, and there's a lot of stages. I think the important thing, and the thing that I say to myself is, where I am right now, is not an indicator of where I'm going to be for the rest of my life. And I had to keep saying this to myself because I think it's really hard when you're not in a great place to not think that this is forever, But we've all been alive long enough, been here for 50 some years. I know it's not forever. I should know that. I shouldn't even worry about it. But, I'm a girl, so I got to think about everything. So just say to yourself, if you don't like where you are right now, this is not where you're going to be forever. And you just got to be able to take these small steps to just move forward. And sometimes it's harder than others. Somebody asked why not on why an interior wall? Because the wood on a piano will expand and contract just like any wood based on temperature. And, like I said, this is not up against a wall. So it's not so close to how cold that exterior wall is. So if you put an interior wall, you're not going to get those cold changes coming through the wall. And then Andrea said, don't, put it near heating duct, which is also true. Like mine is a little too close to the fireplace. But my piano tuner came, I don't know, maybe a year ago. And he was like, this piano is in great shape. You shouldn't put it near a window. Like that's hitting, what I'm saying is, mine is breaking all the rules. But when I say like close to a window, my piano teacher who loved her piano, it was a walnut grand. She put it in front of her window. But hers was like in the so I have like an arched window, like you can see it. There's like an arch to it. She put it in the arch, and after years and years, the sun beating down on it actually like turned the wood. Like half the piano was one color. She was so upset. Yeah. I made friends with the people that bought my dad's house, and now I get to visit the house and talk with the great people. My sister said I'm crazy. Yeah. Yeah. The best advice I've ever received was do the next thing. It's a good one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Carmen, I'm looking forward to getting back to the book. I feel still a little bit unsettled with just trying to find like a space for my clothes, and I'm living out of boxes still. We just built a closet, a standing closet for Jason's things, and there are some built-ins. I'm taking pictures of all, so you'll see it. There's built-ins in his house. They're from the 70s. They're a little janky, so those are getting ripped out tomorrow. So, I feel like I need to settle in. Mm-hmm. I can't sell the house. That is consent. It's the only way I can afford a lawyer. So no, it's not with them. I've been willing so hard to get the house sell all on my own with two people working the entire time. It's horrible. Yeah, bougie. I hear you. But listen, you are in a good community here. And I think that that's the hardest part, is that control part, especially if you've been with somebody who you feel like that's been an ongoing issue. I think that the thing, like when everything was first happening, I was like, I'm going to move, I'm going to sell, I'm going to do this, I'm going to, and I was just like, I need to do something to feel like I'm in control. And the greatest thing that Chris did was sit me down, and she was like, we're going to stay here, and we're not going to make any big decisions, and we're just going to take it day at a time. And I just needed to hear that. And I needed to feel like, I think that was why I started doing the renovation, because I was like, I need to feel like I have control over something. And for me, I know that my surroundings are a big part of that. So, yeah, I think you've just got to lean into the things you do have control over. And those things are your happiness and the things that bring you joy. And, I know that I feel like every person that goes through these big changes, we want them to change now. We want it to be over, and we want to move on with our life. But honestly, it's been 3 years, and I still feel like when does that feeling like you're starting over, when does that stop? I thought 3 years after everything was happening that I would be in a different place, and everything would be behind me, and da-da-da-da-da-da. And here I am moving my piano, moving out of my house. Didn't see that coming. But I have joy with my family and with Jason. And, I like to use the word exciting a lot. Even though I'm scared out of my mind, I use the word, it's a very exciting time. Do that, Sherry. Listen, when big change comes, don't say, this is a lot of change. Be like, this is just a lot of excitement. you gotta, I am the one thing in life I can control. Aaron Burr from Hamilton. And that is it. Exactly. Yeah. So yeah. And sometimes I wish that this change happened sooner. And I realize now that I wouldn't have been ready. And other times I wish change was happening later. And then I realized that if it wasn't happening now, I probably would have never pushed myself to do something. I would never have moved. So, I think one of the things that I think about is that it was like, why would God do this? Why would all these changes be happening now? Like, why wouldn't they happen later? But I do believe in the whole God's plan thing, or whatever higher power you believe in. And so, yeah, after 6 months, are you going to move back into your house? I don't know, Tammy. That's the big question. So it was funny because I was talking to somebody and I was like, yeah, and then after 6 months, I'll move back and blah, 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 blah. And Jason was sitting there and Jason just looked at me and he goes, what? I go, yeah, I'll move all my stuff back and that's so. And he was like, you're not moving back. And then I was like, we didn't talk about that. But I've decided and I'm not going to think about it. I'm just going to be right here, right now, with this piano and pull some more of my clothes out that have nowhere to go at Jason's. And we decided separation date was 2007 and just now waiting for the final papers from the courts. It's been an incredibly long journey, but so looking forward to finally moving on with that. Good for you, Paula. I moved in with my mom 3 years ago. Then she passed this July to redecorate, but I don't know what I want. All right, Lisa, baby steps. Baby steps. Molinay. Yeah. I know, Laurie, but she got a honey now. So, yeah, LaFive. Yeah. Amy, did we get our dryer thing working again? March, we met on Bumble. You'll hear all about it in the book. But we met on a dating site. And I like to tell people because I really had obviously missed the whole dating thing when I was in my 20s. And so it was very scary and awful, and you'll read in the book. Not good. And I really was like, I'm done. I wasn't even going to go. You'll read all about it. Yeah, Joe is from the Bible study and the bereavement group. And actually, Joe and his wife and my mom and dad used to hang out at church, so they all knew each other. And yeah, how much does Bumble cost? I don't remember offhand. It's been a while, Diane. But it was worth it. So I did 5 apps, and again, I'll talk about that in the book. I did 5 different apps, but I did like Bumble and Hinge the best. So I think that there was more. It was a little bit more scammy on Hinge. You'll see. There's one guy's face that they just keep using over and over again with a different name. You'll see. But the thing I liked about Bumble is nobody could talk to you unless you talk to them first. So like you could match with somebody. So say I was on and I matched with Joey Joe. I'm like, oh, he's cute. And she was like, oh, girl, you cute. And we matched. But then I got nervous and I was like, I'm probably not going to say nothing. if I don't reach out to him first to send a message, he can't message me. And that was important because on other apps, anybody can message you, even if you don't match. And you're just like, this is too much for me. So yeah, so I liked that. Never been able to get on these apps. Where did it go? I'm so afraid. I've never done it. Tammy girl, there are 4 chapters dedicated to this very thing. Yeah, Joe's a thing. I've been single without getting back in the dating gives me Lisa, 4 chapters dedicated to getting on an app. Probably more. I just, yeah, 4 chapters, which was very unexpected. There is a free level of Bumble. That's true, Shakendra. So if you just wanted to try it, my son met my daughter-in-law on Bumble, and I'm glad he did. She's wonderful. Yeah. And that's the thing is that, you know, you go on a couple dates, you're like, I can't believe I'm on this app. These are horrible dates. And I remember after meeting Jason, of course I follow Burned Haystack. And there's a lot of parts that I like. There's some parts I'm like, I don't know. But I remember after a couple weeks and getting to know him, like in my mind, I remember thinking, what were you doing on this app? Like he just seems so lovely and just so different from some of the other men I might have dated that I was like, why were you on an app? And he was like, that's funny because I was thinking, why are you on an app? Why were you on Bumble? And I was just like, what else would I do? My son said was on, he got on in the end and they did not match. Yeah. So, my daughter's 30 and losing hope on the apps. And Marge, you hear that a lot. There were some fellows that I had talked to, and I was new to the app, and I told everybody, and I was like, I'm new here. I don't even know how this works. I don't know which buttons you're supposed to push. I don't know, whatever. And I said, are you new here? And they're like, well, I'm new in the sense that I just came back. And that was something else that happened I understood it by the time I was on it for a little while. Like people will get on and you're like, it's exciting and you're hopeful. And then you go on a date and you're like, this is horrible. And then you go on another date and it's horrible. And then you go on another date and it's horrible. And you almost get like burnout from it. But go to that burned haystack method. If you're going to think about getting on an app, join the burned haystack method because we had Jenny on the show. And I really do believe in a lot of what she's saying. It's just about like dating with purpose. And you know, if you are like just a simple thing, if you are talking to somebody and they say, and you say, would you like to meet up? And they say, yes, I would love to. And if somebody says they'd like to meet you and they don't follow it up with, are you available Saturday at 7? I can make a reservation here. If that's not part of the conversation, or if they say, would you like to meet up sometime? And you say yes, and they don't follow it up with an actual plan. I'm going to tell you something right now. I'm not going out with you unless you plan these dates. Jason planned every date. And I was just like, and he wouldn't, he'd say, meet me at, you know, this location. There's a restaurant we'll be going to at 7:00, And I was in shock. I was like, he plan what? He'll plan. Girls, listen to my face. There's men that plan. Met my husband right before I was going to give up on Match 12 years ago. And that's when you meet somebody. Right before you give up. And sometimes you got to give up and come back. Yeah. Exactly, Shakendra. I'm thinking about trying Bumble this year. My daughter's 17 now. She took the loss of her dad so hard. It's been a touchy subject at this point in my life. I don't want to take on any more luggage. And I think that is excellent. And that's the thing. Like, I think that there is something really important, and I think Diana is a great example of this, is I think that so many of us will say, like, I'm not going to date because I don't want to upset my kids, or my kids are too young. But if you ask your kids would be like, please go, please do something. We're tired of looking at you doing nothing. Go live a life. Like, your kids want that for you. They want you to be happy. They want to see you smile. And so I think Burned Haystack is really good to give you some great advice on intentionality, like you said, Shakendra. Is there no such thing as meeting in the wild anymore? I don't know, Paula. But it was so funny because I was like, why were you on the app? He was like, why were you on the app? I said, because I was like, I work with comedians, which is mostly all men. I would never date any of them. And then here I work with all women. And I love me a good date with Wendy and Chris, but I was like, this is not going to go anywhere. You guys are taken. And I was like, I don't know. I think it would be weird. And Jason was like, no, he's like, we were going to meet either way. We were meant to meet. I go, there's no way. There's none of our friends cross. You know how they says, like, you have friends in common. There's nothing. We would not have met. He goes, Dina, we would have met. I know we would have met. I go, we wouldn't. You don't go to stand-up shows. I don't do music concerts. Like, there's nothing. He's like, Dina, if I saw you at a Wawa, I would have talked to you. I go, okay, random. What? I love that he used Wawa as part of the girl. This baby gonna meet. And I said, what are you talking? I would not have dated a guy I met at the Wawa. He goes, no, we would have. We would have. He goes, if I saw you at a Wawa, I go, why would I be hanging out at a Wawa? He said, no, I'm telling you. He said, if I saw you at a store, I go, I don't go to Amazon does not have I don't go to store. What are you talking? He goes, if I met you at a Wawa, I would have talked you up. I go, what? How would you have done that exactly, Jason? Yeah, pick up at the local Wawa. Belinda, I don't know if you know, it's a hotbed. Wait, so I need to stop paying at the pump. Yep. No, we're exactly the same age. Yes, Jason had been divorced for a while before we met. I know a married couple who met at Wawa. I'm dropping my daughter off at the local Wawa. And I said to him, I go, I would have never talked to you at a Wawa. That's so weird. He goes, you would have talked to me. I would have talked to you. You like that iced tea? I would have stood over. I would have been like, hey. I would have been like, okay. I'm not. Yeah, I left my daughter at Wawa. She didn't find nobody. Who knew that was the hotbed? Who knew? It's so funny. So listen, I'm just saying, there's some quality men waiting at a Wawa just for you. So hang out by the iced tea. That's what they're looking at. They're like this. They're like, which is that Shakendra? They'd be like, hey. Comedian Tim. Went through a lot of change since 2020, but I'm finally in a good place with my boy. Got a new job, a new house, and a new life. I'm happier and more in peace than I've been in years. Good for you, Tim Grill. I love it. We're getting a Wawa here. I thought about you when I saw the sign coming. Girl, if you know any singles, tell them, go hang out at this Wawa. I met my husband at Wawa. Nicole, you are lying. Please tell. How does that happen? Nicole, tell me the story about how you met him at a Wawa. My daughter met her husband at a Wawa. Guess what? Allison, you're all lying right now. Please tell me how does somebody, I haven't met a quality guy at the Wawa yet. The Wawa does need a bar. Listen, I gotta go. I gotta head to the Wawa. Holly's like, I'm out. I gotta get gas and maybe a hoagie. You know, they make pizzas now after 4. I've been married so long, I wouldn't know if I was being talked up. I know. I'm 65. No dating apps for me. Terry, you live near Wawa. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Instead of what's your sign, I'd be like, what's your order number? What kind of hoagie you like? My friend met her boyfriend at Dunkin' Donuts. Yeah, Wawa's the next wedding venue hotspot. You're going to see everybody dress up at the local Wawa. They'll be like, girl, I got to get to a Wawa. Oh, that's funny. You guys are funny. I really do need to hear a story. If your loved ones met somebody at a Wawa, I need to hear that. How did were they hanging up with the iced tea? When you're meant to meet, it will happen no matter where. That's what Jason said. I lost my husband almost 2 years ago. I'm still in a rut and I can't move forward. All right, Laura, listen to me. You could go to a Wawa. That's a joke. But you just one step at a time. That's it. And here's some of the best advice, because I was doing the dating apps for a while. But the best advice I got, Laura, was I met Sharon at Arby's, but we both worked there. Same. Wawa is like a convenience store. I'll go back to Laura for a second. It said, instead of spending time trying to find a person, maybe put that time into doing things that you enjoy, because chances are, I started joining meetup groups. I was doing my pickleball all the time. I was trying to find a hiking group, and they have meetup groups that are just like, hey, we want to meet and go to have dinner. And I think I was at a place where I was putting so much pressure on trying to meet a person, any person, let alone finding my person. Allison said, I'm not lying. He was working at the Wawa in Woodbury Heights, pumping gas while she was going to school to be an electrician. They flirted and they found each other on social media. Oh, it is, Vicki. It is. And so I just loved that idea of just leaning into the things that you love. Are you a songwriter? Are you a crafter? And if you are well, I don't like to hike. Well, maybe you do. Bitch, get up. Go hike somewhere. Maybe put yourself out there in a different. I had never pickleballed before, and it was very nerve-wracking when I first started going. I just showed up with a racket and I just stood there, just waited for somebody to talk to me. They're like, "Are you new?" And I was like, "Mm-hmm." And I loved it. And I didn't join it to find a date. I needed to start exercising. I needed to be moving because I had done nothing for a long time. My daughter named her daughter's private bits Wawa. I told her it's not a good idea because if we get a Wawa, you're gonna regret it. Guess what? We got one here in Florida, and now my granddaughter thinks babies come from Wawas. And there's the turn. Susie, so your daughter told her daughter that her privates were called Wawas. A Wawa. And then you got a Wawa. Wow. It's interesting. It's going to cause a lot of problems. You're not wrong. I feel like I would be cheating on him, which I know sounds crazy, said Laura. All right, Laura, listen to me. And I think that, I'm glad you're here. I think that, when I think about my mom and my dad, hold on. This might be the piano tuner. Hold on. Laura, hold that thought. Hello?
Hi, good morning. This is Nick with Duffy Piano Movers.
Yes.
I'm just giving you a heads up. We're about 10 minutes away from 16 Greenville Road now.
Okay, sounds great. We'll see you then. All right. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. That was them. They're on their way. 10 minutes. So we're going to go a little late, but if you want to stay, you can see it. All right, Laura, here's what I want to say to you. So my mom and dad were married 53 years. Joe and his wife were married a long time. I don't know how long, but he's 83. And they were married he was married at 22, so it was 60 some years. And we actually had to get together with his daughter, Joe's son and daughter. And it's very funny to be standing around talking about your parents dating. And, I wasn't sure where they were, with their dad dating my mom. I know we're happy that my mom is with Joe. But I remember Joe saying, young Joe, Joe's son, saying, Dina, I want you to know that when my mom died, my dad stared at her picture for a year. He just stared at it for a year. And we were like, you need to get up. You need to start moving. You need to start living. And I think that that's important. And I'm glad that you're here today. And I'm glad that you're talking about it because I think it's scary. And even, for my mom and Joe, it was really more about just camaraderie and, somebody to talk to and somebody to enjoy time with. And I bet your husband is watching and it's like, you know what? He wants that for you. And we all want that for you. And you're not doing anything wrong. And I think that that's a hard thing in the back of your head to kind of move past. I don't know who needs to release you from that, but you're all good. We are releasing you. So we're all here to support you, no matter what you decide. But, it's important. Your husband, I felt the same way when my husband passed, but I found a man that I truly believe was sent to me by my first husband, as crazy as it sounds. Georgia said it so beautifully. I know, Brooke. I know we're giving away pianos. Girls, do it. There is not a person on here that hasn't. I know, Danielle. Sometimes it's just nice to have a companion, and Wawa's the place to go. Kezia said, I told my husband if I go before him, he has to grieve for me for a year, and then he's free to move on. That's fair. Yeah. My husband and I were married 59 years. I don't think that I could start over at 82. I'm busy with friends, and I think that's the way it will stay. And that's fine too, Jenny, whatever you feel comfortable with. But I think that conversation about that guilt, I felt it, and, mine was a divorce, and I still felt like I was doing something wrong. And I think that everybody's got to just get to a place where they're ready to move on and whatever that is in whatever capacity. But I think that, I think it's important to have a conversation that says what you're doing is a good thing, and being happy is never a bad thing, and not feeling lonely is never a bad thing. And whether you move through that by surrounding yourself with amazing friends, and I think Judy from Saskatoon is amazing when she talks about her pod, her people of distinction, all of those things. I never thought I would meet my now husband after my hard divorce. I now have another son. Life comes in waves. I've never been happier or felt more loved. I looked at it this way, said Irene. My mom passed when I was young. My dad remarried. My dad lived until he was 94 and was blessed to have loved 2 women and have a happy life. I lost my husband a year ago and I just turned 60. At this point in life, I'm not ready for someone new, and that's totally fine. And that's why you're here, because we'll be here. We'll date you. You want a piano? Girl, you want a piano? It's fine. And I guess, everybody's got to move through, and I think there's definitely a timeline, and you'll just know it. You'll just know when you're ready, or you'll meet somebody at a Wawa. But I do think it's important to talk about that guilt, and whether that guilt comes from losing somebody through death or through divorce. I think it's just as weird. It was really weird for me. So yeah, good, Tammy. I'm glad. Yeah. I've been widowed 3 years now. I haven't felt ready to get out, but each person grieves in their own way, and you will know when you're ready. I'm blessed with my wonderful kids, family, and friends. It'll be okay. I'm confused about the piano. Is that not your? No, this one's mine. Angela, they're coming. I'm going to move this rug. They're coming today to move it, but somebody earlier had said that they have a piano that they don't want anymore, and that they've told a bunch of people and no one has said that they wanted it. So we were like, you get a piano, you get. So there's a free piano in North Carolina. There's a couple in Wisconsin, I believe. I'm just going to roll this up. So that's why we were saying, you get a piano, you get a piano. I'm just going to do this. Okay, that works. All right, I guess I should close it. So today is a big day. Oh, I gotta take this. Hold on. So you will see the inner workings of how pianos are moved. If anybody has a grand piano, the best present I ever got is this thing. It is a light for a grand piano, and it's my favorite thing in the whole world. Hold on. Hold it here. All right. I don't know if they're going to keep this. All right, hold on. All right, act natural. Hey, how are you?
Good. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. So listen, I have I'm on Facebook Live right now to show some of my friends how you guys are going to move this piano.
Perfect.
Just don't mention any addresses that you're going to.
You got it.
All right. What's your name?
I'm Nick.
Nick, nice to meet
Nice
you.
to meet
You can wave to everybody.
Hey guys.
That's Nick.
All right. Do you mind if I set this
No,
right here?
sure, whatever you need to do.
All right.
I didn't take that music. Does
No,
that
we're gonna
say
leave-
it?
Yeah, we're gonna leave it all
Okay.
right there.
I think everything else is
It's
ready
nice.
to go.
Good Yamaha G1. We just moved one.
You did?
Yeah. Man, before we move it.
Hey there.
How you doing? Before we move
Yes.
it, I'm just gonna show you some things on the
Okay,
video.
sure.
KJ, wave hi to the people.
There's people.
We're on live.
So we're not going to mention any addresses that we're
Okay,
yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
First
this is
thing-
heading to parts unknown.
First things first.
Yeah.
Got some little marks here.
Yep.
And I just want you to know, I want them to know, we're not picking on them. We just got to show
Yeah,
you
yeah,
the
no,
things.
fine.
Some marks here
Yep.
and everything like that. We got some
Yeah,
surface
vacuum
stuff.
cleaner stuff.
Kind of look like
Yeah,
this
yeah.
and everything in the lake. You see it?
Yeah.
That's normal.
Yeah.
Surface scratches here.
Yep.
Okay, let me take the bench out. Let's see, that's just a little dust mark.
Little dust.
All good.
There are some marks here on
Okay.
this side that I know of that are from my dog's cage.
Okay.
And here.
Like I said, I'm not picking on it.
No,
Like
I hear you.
the legs and everything, we call those vacuum cleaner marks.
Oh, I love that you think I vacuum.
And then right here on the side, I'll move out of your way so you can get there. You see that?
Oh,
paint
yeah,
mark?
yeah.
I'm gonna see if I can get that off.
I
for
think
you.
that's paint or something.
Yeah.
I'll come to
I'm gonna see if I can get that off for you.
Okay.
It's really not that big of a deal. It's in great shape. We're going. Did you tell them the small board? Or
I
they
just told them medium.
medium? Yeah, you know
It's a
those
little
marks
gripper
there.
to the finish.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything on this side.
Well, other than that, you're looking pretty good. Like I said, the legs they got some chips and
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
She showed me.
Oh,
Yeah.
She knows all these marks here. And just so you know too, on the floor, there's some marks all going around there.
Yeah.
We're gonna save the house.
Okay,
We're
we
gonna,
love that.
yeah, we're gonna be very
All right.
gentle.
So this is actually probably the third time you guys have moved this piano for me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in good shape. You want to give her a whirl, KJ? right?
Sounds good.
They want to know if you guys are single. There's a lot of ladies on this program.
No, we're not. We're both married.
You know what we were talking about? So the guy that I'm dating, we met on Bumble.
Cool.
A while ago. But I said, isn't it funny? Like we would have met other than on this dating app. He's like, no, we would have met. I'm like, where would we have met? He goes, Wawa. What are you talking about? He goes, if I saw you at Wawa, I would have talked to you. I was like, I would have never talked to you at a Wawa. He's like, you would have talked to me.
Usually I get hit with the door going in Wawa.
Nice. Oh, is it a player?
Yeah.
It is a player. It's old. So the player for it is this giant box in the basement. It's really
Nice.
funny.
Yeah. It threw me off. I seen this and I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah. We don't use it that way, but
These can be upgraded.
they
Yeah.
can.
Yeah, to where you can actually run it like off your iPads.
What?
Yeah, or iPhones.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought, because honestly, the box for the player is gigantic.
Yeah, so that's what they do is they remove that and they actually put in like a Bluetooth.
What?
Yeah, that connects to the
Do
piano.
you go through a Yamaha for it?
It's like Piano Disc. It's like its own separate company, but they work with Yamaha.
Wow, that's really
Or if it's a
crazy.
QRS
I'm
system.
a bit of a purist. I'm classically trained, so putting a player on it is like,
Right.
I'm like, well, how dare
Yeah,
you?
it's a bit of a novelty. You know?
Yeah.
Did he get lost out?
Nick, they said you have nice arms, just so you know. They're
What's
sexually.
that?
They said you have nice arms. They're sexually harassing you at work.
Thank you. That's okay.
Mhm.
Just don't tell my wife.
There you go. It's a secret. Mm-hmm.
She might be on there.
That right down there. Yeah, she's
Yeah, she
on
might be
there.
watching.
She's on
Who
there. Hi,
knows?
honey. I love you. Don't freak out.
All right.
All right,
Cool.
we'll just go.
Nice up and over.
Yeah.
Feeling good?
Yeah. Good. Coming right to you, Dave.
Great.
Watch that rear end. Beautiful. Here we go. Oops, sorry. I'm just going to move some of this over, man.
Yeah. Whatever you need to do.
All right. You see this stuff here, guys? Just watch that. Good.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Got one.
And you guys are gonna take all the legs off, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So we'll wrap
So-
the top down and then everything underneath. will
Coming
close
up.
Good.
So I know it's so cool, Susie. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Here we go.
It's like
Coming up.
so interesting to watch them because it's like
Coming down. Good. You got the rubbers, Dave, or?
Guys got stuff all over the house.
Yeah, right? He lives here now.
he's like, this is a nice house. Mm-hmm. Marianne, I'll probably take the. I probably won't take the player box. I don't really use it. I mean, it's gigantic. It's a really big box. It's amazing though, and maybe I'll bring it. I'll show it to you. It's kind of crazy. Mm-hmm. Marlene, it's so interesting. I think one of my sisters used to date a tree trimmer. So interesting to watch it. Like just so methodical. Yeah, Andrea. Some of my music is there. I'm gonna grab some more today. Mm-hmm. So how many pianos would you guys say you move in a day?
7 or 8.
Yeah.
7 or 8?
Yeah.
Wow. Somebody said they didn't realize that how many people are moving pianos.
If I had a dollar for every time they said that, I wouldn't
Right?
be moving them.
That's crazy. And somebody asked, because this is probably the smallest grand, right?
No, not the smallest.
It's not?
Nah.
It's a
pretty
smaller
small.
one though. It's definitely a baby grand.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. If you've ever seen, so mine can fit in that little spot. But there are some that are like 12-foot grands and they're gorgeous and they're amazing to play. They're so beautiful. My aunt was a piano player. And she was professional and she needed somebody to like watch her piano. She was in an apartment in New York. And so we were able to, my sister and I were able to play her grand piano when we were younger and it was fantastic. And then finally, I was able to buy this baby grand probably about 10 years ago.
You want legs, Hansel?
What's the hardest piano to move? Yeah. How often do you guys move pianos to like third floors? Like
Often.
We one today.
Yeah, we got one today.
really?
Yeah, downtown. So we're heading back towards Philly.
Wow.
Hopkins Park, then down into Philly.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we at least have
One
every
truck
day.
in Philly every day.
Wow.
Yeah. We have 2 trucks in Philly. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
But we always have second floors, third floors, like every day.
Wow.
You got the other leg? Yeah. Here, you need that one first. Yes, sir.
I know, Jill, it's very cool. This company is called Duffy's, and it's the only place that I use when I move a piano. Amy, yeah, an electronic piano. Some of them are really great. If you buy an electronic piano, sometimes people buy them just for space because they're smaller. But just make sure it's the kind that has like a piano feel to it.
Heavy liar.
So, you know, that it has that same feel because you're also training all your muscles to be able to play. So, or get a free piano here. So there's a lot.
All right. Yeah.
So when you guys get there, my boyfriend will be there to kind of show you where to put it.
Right.
So
See, this one's going in and then one's coming out.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Now, are you guys taking care of the whole move or just the
No,
one?
so
half?
I can. Do you want me to pay mine? I
Yeah,
can
so
pay
if
mine
you're-
now.
Yeah, you're
You
going
don't
to
want to
pay
stick it
yours.
on the boyfriend? I would.
Yeah, that would be nice.
So it is $400. That's
Yeah.
with cash or check.
Yeah.
And then if it's a credit card, it'll be $412.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want.
Yeah.
And then they write it right where I need you to sign too. Isn't that terrible?
Okay.
Let's see where that says signature.
Yeah.
pickup?
Yeah.
Need a signature there.
Okay. Oh wait, then I'm gonna have to pay you there because my checkbook is there.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, we'll take care of it.
All right.
I'm with him. I'd stick it on the.
I know.
You know,
What does that mean
we,
to have
we
a?
get stuck with it all the time.
I know.
Here, I'll take that.
Well, they're
back
stuck
then.
with
Oh,
us,
okay,
so
thank
they'll
you.
sign-
He'll sign, or I'll still have you sign that we picked it up.
Okay.
Since you're going to stay here, right?
Okay. Yeah, I'm probably gonna follow behind
Here
you.
you go.
I
Got a
will be-
pen for it?
Yeah, thank you.
Just right there.
There you go.
Beautiful. Good. And I'll give you a copy of this. There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. How we looking, Kings? Are you ready?
Yeah, we're ready to go.
All right. They're going to like this part.
Put them arms to work.
Yeah. Good. Right?
I know it's very quick.
Here I go.
There.
Coming down. Perfect.
Coming up.
Coming at you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Judy asked about a player
Grab this
piano.
back.
Yeah.
Look at her.
Go ahead, Dave. We're good.
Perfect. We'll meet you out there.
So Renee, it's because this one's a farther move. Mm-hmm.
Right?
You guys are out of Jersey, right?
We're at a Prospect Park, Delaware County, but we have
Okay.
an office in Jersey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
See you guys.
All right. Thanks, guys.
I'm going to put my coat on.
So I just thought that would be fun to watch. Hopefully, like, look how empty it looks. Somebody asked why I was moving it. I'm moving it not because I'm afraid they'll break it. This has been here for a couple of the rentals, but because I'm going to miss it. When I was really thinking about, because I wasn't thinking about renting my house for 6 months, and when I considered it, I had to really think about what feels like home to me, and it was my bedroom and my piano, and so I think you have to, really think about what are the things in your life that feel like home. And one of the things that I have done over the last few years is really pare down and not feel so overwhelmed by stuff and things in my house. And as I have gone through this move, and I was just like, you know what? I don't need this stuff anymore. But the things that I love, I do want with me. So it's lovely. I know there's so much room. I said to Caroline, is my renter, I was like, there's going to be nothing here if you want to bring any furniture. So We'll see. But that's it for today, everybody. Thanks for watching. We had some deep conversations today. This looks weird. Oh, it did, Cooley. It's everybody's favorite. So it's over there. I know. And the fireplace looks great. So it's exciting. Remember, that's the word we use when we're overwhelmed. We're not going to talk about change. I'm going to be Mr. Rogers, put my boots on. We're not going to say it's too much change. We're just going to say this is an exciting time. So if for anybody out there, maybe starting over or wanting to start something new or whatever, just know that you are not alone. There's a lot of us out there. And
Dina, right?
Yes.
All right. We're all set. I'm just going to double check everything, make sure the floor is good.
Okay.
Yeah, look at that. We did a good one.
You did.
All right. Yeah, we're all set. Make sure you're good. What's your live? We want to watch.
Oh, it's called OneFunnyMother. It's on Facebook.
Nice. If you want my number I called you on?
Yeah.
That's my number. You want to text it?
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to turn it off, but you can go back and watch it.
Absolutely.
Today was a really teary-eyed watch, but you're going to love it. You guys did a great job. So thank you so much.
See you guys.
All right. Well, Stephanie's calling now. So, let's see. All right. So, yeah, this is what exciting times looks like. I'll take a picture of what it looks like and post it, what it looks like in its new spot. But should we answer her phone for her? That would be nice. But thanks for watching today, everybody. And yeah, Nick is going to be a $5 friend soon. You're going to see him or his wife on the show. Thanks for being part of all of these adventures. And like I said, I'm going to try to start on my Instagram and show you some of the renovations and some of the other things that are happening kind of outside of this morning show. So thanks for watching. And for anybody that needs to hear it, starting over can be scary, but it doesn't mean you don't do it. So you can be scared, be here, and we'll laugh through it. And we'll have a good time and see where life and the great things that life has in store for you. So thanks for watching, everybody. Like Judy from Saskatoon, good time Andrea say, do something nice for yourself or others. And have a great day and a blessed day. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Hey guys, if you enjoyed today's morning show, make sure to follow us for more One Funny Mother content.
Okay, all right. Morse code is tapping.
And check out OneFunnyMotherStore.com for great new inappropriate swag. And for more exclusive content, consider becoming a supporter.
She got a bad leg.
Thanks again, and we'll see you tomorrow on One Funny Morning.